by Unicorns of Love. The last time Vardex played at the analyst desk told us was in week 4. And it's quite an interesting dynamic that he's still not put in the hours in the play to learn it for whatever reason. For H2K, they're discussing their next ban, but we should expect it to go Power of Evil if they're going to stick to the same strat.
So let's just talk about how big of a problem it is that you cannot play Kalista in this meta, because it means in the pick and ban phase, what teams used to do was they would say, we're not going to ban Sivir, we're not going to ban Kalista, we're going to trade it. So you get one, we get one, we're all happy. Unicorns cannot do that. So H2K can ban Sivir right now, which they should in my opinion, to make sure Vardex does not get it. And Unicorns couldn't try and force a Sivir to be open so Vardex could pick it up because he does not play that Kalista.
Elise or Sivir, what will it be if those are the highest priorities? Kissing going to be making the final decision, and it will be Sivir. So
Elise first pick, though.
Off the table, and that means Horo could get his hands on the shape-shifting Elise.
Then again, considering the fact that Lulax has not shown Elise, Unicorns might say, let's wait.
It's risky.
It's risky. It is very risky. They did it against Fnatic in game 1, but that was game 1. They've already lost one game, so...
But if they want to wait, what are they waiting for? What did they want to secure here that is so shared between these champions pools and its top priority? The only pick for me that would spring to mind here, if I was watching blank names, would be an Azir pick with Victor out. But neither side has really shown any preference towards the champion, hasn't seen that much love recently. We have, a shared Shen, but Chachi seemed to just want to play Nautilus top lane. So
there doesn't seem to be any pick that Unicorns really need here as a takeaway from H2K, because if they take Corki, Yanin can just Tristana again. Tristana, Thresh, that dual lane beats the Corki Morgana lane. Morgana's banned away this time, but H2K can run exactly the same setup, so Thresh is not contested from Unicorns. And at least they're basically saying, Lulax, can you play it? Otherwise, we're going to get it in the next rotation. Just an unnecessary risk, honestly.
Talk about that Azir, just very quickly, Crepo. Neither mid laners played Azir in the summer split.
Not expecting to see him.
Ryu's got a very wide champion pool. He's shown that he pulls out whatever works in the circumstances, but he likes playing as assassins.
I want to see now that the Morgana's been denied of Hylissang if he's going to go for the Thresh, if he's going to get baited into, because if he picks it up, H2K likely have an answer ready. Or if he plays that Braum again. I really like Braum as a champion. I really like Hylissang on Braum, and I think it could augment and just help Unicorns of get to the early game safely. Because it's like a mini Dark Binding. You connect it and you have some zone, you have some slow coming out. H2K do take the Thresh and Elise. That is a really strong gank combination. You can Lantern in Elite for Repel, you can set up hooks into Cocoon, Cocoon into hooks, Flay, so many possibilities. But it will require synergy between Kasing and Lulax, and that is one thing that we have always criticized H2K for.
It is still, though, such a good combo, and the fact you take away Elise from Horo, so technically this Corki first pick did absolutely nothing for Unicorns of Love, because Vardex is just looking to play that Tristana anyway and get the same setup. So now you have a mass amount of pick potential with Elise, Thresh together. A combo a lot of people would say is one of the strongest you can have in the game right now.
What it did do for the Unicorns of Love is get a comfort pick on arguably one of their weaker members on Vardex and counter pick potential. But you saw last week, Unicorns of Love had plenty of counter pick potential and never made it count. So they need to make sure that this Evelynn jungle can add enough pressure and unpredictability, because you said what you could do is play the vision game. Well, you can't play the vision game, obviously, against Evelynn. That might just be the approach that Horo wants to take to win out this early game. I think it's a bit of a stretch, but maybe. Yeah,
the concern is, again, Elise is such a good duelist. She can invade into that jungle, place the deep at the camps, and start at least remove some of the options of where Evelynn can be, and then you start predicting with where didn't we spot her? She wasn't on the bottom side or bottom side for the last 1 minute. She has to be top side. Watch out. But what Unicorns did is they say, okay, we need to take a very, very strong mid game. Evelynn flank with a Shen ulti is a fantastic combo to start the fights and reach the backline in that case, because you get the Evelynn flank. And again, the Corki, it's very mid-game focused. They can go Syndra in the mid lane one more time as well.
Yeah, definitely want to see more aggression coming out of Power of Evil here. Not the pick that leans back, not the Orianna of sorts that just waits for these items to scale up. It's going to be too risky if they go for that. Engage coming out of Hylissang potentially here, though, so that's could be an opening, but just, again, very explosive mid-game focused.
It is what we like to see from him. When he can set up the kills, when he can set up the picks, he did it on Morgana. It now got banned away by H2K. You mentioned Braum before, how he's a great Braum player, it's a great champion, but the playstyle of Unicorns often need him to be the big carry.
Shen
support.
Shen support.
So, Gangplank top, Shen support.
Okay, it was just a matter of time before we saw that Gangplank top in the EU LCS. It's such a strong pick. It's been like a sleeper OP, honestly.
Yeah, and this changes everything. While we were saying very mid-game focused, Gangplank scales incredibly well into the late game. Pop a couple of barrels down in those fights, get some massive AoE going. That's fine for the late game. Then you can go late game with Orianna, and you can kind of patch up your early mid-game. Just having a global on your support. But we need to see if Unicorns of Love can show the same resistance against the tower pushes and sieges from H2K, and the picks coming out of Elise, Cocoon, Kasing with the Thresh Hook, and just Gnar roaming the fights and getting those early dragons as well. So if Unicorns can survive the early to mid game, might see a great game here.
I think it's a big if as well, because Vizicachi's been traditionally a tank player and has not really played a lot of carry-based champions. You look down his most played, and it's all frontliners. H2K will lock in Ahri once again for Ryu. It is his current preferred champion, as he's played it in the majority of his matches in recent weeks.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, if Brawly threw a proper tantrum in between the games and told them, hey guys, start of the game was fine, mid-game was sloppy, we talked about this before, this is how you bait a dragon, this is how you bait a baron, this is how you close out the game, then H2K will be in prime position, because I really like this lineup that they've drafted together.
It fits H2K so much when it comes to this mid-game spike they like to use. It allows Ryu to be aggressive, strong 2v2 bottom lane as well for Yana and Kasing. But on the side of Unicorns, the fact they finally show a physical damage dealer in the top lane suddenly means they're not stacking heavy magic damage like we saw in the last game. They have the Corki, obviously adding 50-50, and then Gangplank with the AD up top here. Trinity Force into Infinity Edge. If you stand on that barrel late game as an AD carry, it hurts.
So far, Power Wheel has yet to change his Ignite into a Cleanse. He seems to have it locked in, so he's playing Ignite into Charm and Cocoon.
Just changed it very
Just
second.
at the end?
Yeah.
God damn you, Power Wheel.
Just in the very end.
The one thing I would like to mention about the wave clear on the sides of UOL, as well as the global pressure from that Shen support, and obviously the teleport Gangplank plus the Cannon Barrage, there's going to be some tools for UOL to counterplay some of the early map play that H2K used to get an advantage earlier in the series.
This is basically making it a lot easier for Hylissang to roam. Again, you got the 1v2 AD carry in the Corki, you have the Shen, global, use that on this Gangplank, he can one-on-one almost anyone.
And we'll find out if Vizicachi can make Gangplank work. We will be seeing the rework GP in Stockholm in Game 2 of the best of 5.
And I'm really happy for PoE that he did spot that Ignite versus Cleanse debate, because playing mid lane, Charm Flash to Cocoon is just straight up death. And then it starts snowballing. You really don't want to give a kill to Ryu in this lane, because PoE will be playing passive, aggressive summoner down. Ahri will likely want to push him in, especially, as we mentioned before, Elise thrives as an aggressive jungler. What do you need to do against Evelynn? Invade her jungle and play reverse jungler bingo. If you don't see her on 3 camps, that means she's likely on the remaining 2 or ganking a lane. That's how you take that approach. You spot the Evelynn, and then you out-jungle her.
And it's going to be a bit difficult for Horo really to find a lane to gank. Orianna here in the mid lane is a bit tough, at least pre-level 6, to set up the gank. And then against triple dash from Ryu, Gangplank over in the top lane wants to scale up a little bit. And the bottom lane as well, Thresh, Tristana, such a safe lane in many ways, Lantern and the jump. So it's going to be difficult for Horo in the start to find the lane. So you just got to worry about where is Lulex and how do I stop him from ganking.
In 2 games in a row, H2K have grouped up and then split up a little after scaring Unicorns away. H2K going to get the deep vision. Unicorns may be able to get to that Gromp in time, but second game in a row, the early vision dance is going in favor of H2K.
What I really like on Evelynn is not so much ganking, but counter-ganking, because that forces you, if your team knows that you're there, but the enemy doesn't, you can dodge these skill shots that they're going to throw out of you aggressively. Sidestep, turn the tides, turn the tables on them. You'll need good vision control. You have Chachi going for the traditional early double jungle. Top laner and jungle share, top laner tanks, then goes to base, gets health, teleports to the lane.
What you're going to see here from Chachi is first he hits the minion, procs his passive, then he shoots the barrel or hits the barrel. That resets his passive so he can now proc it one more time, and it does a lot of damage. Look for that when he's trading in lane as well. Like the perfect dream for Gangplank in a one-on-one trade is you hit them first, proc your passive, you shoot that barrel next, and get a second hit of passive, speeds you up, slows them down, and does a ton of damage.
Yeah, and this 2-man early jungle start definitely helps Evelynn more than Elise, because Elise traditionally is a very well-sustained jungle on her own. Evelynn is known for going incredibly low on that 3rd and 4th camp, so we'll need to see even more unpredictability from Horo here, as he'll be high HP after a couple of camps. We see something different from
This is
H2K
risky.
here.
This
Good
is
adaptation.
super risky. You know it's a lane swap, so there's going to be 4 members from H2K on the top side, and you go for that blue buff. You can't do that.
The flash hook connects! Kassin gets a double flay! Lulex is sinking the fangs in, he's in spider form, flashes forward, the spiderlings get first blood on Jungle
But
Elise!
what are you thinking here? You got 2 members on the bottom side, and you start there on the strong side, and you say, instead of invading in on the enemy blue buff, and here's why we can go back to level 1 and the warding. Unicorns of Love had 0 vision in the jungle of H2K, so they didn't know where Elise and Gnar were starting. They didn't know if they could invade in and take that blue buff after taking their own red and just stay on the bottom side of the map. Instead, they went for the greedy play, punished.
And this is incredibly greedy from Unicorns of Love, especially if you consider that Varex and Hylissang did Crux together, and then Hylissang did not move in the enemy jungle to spot what cams were still up. He didn't provide vision for his team, and they got punished for it. Really poor mistake. This is entry-level lane swap knowledge that you should have had in playoffs already, and it can cost you the game.
Round 2 in the best of 5, and H2K find a way to get an early lead, 1,000 gold advantage, thanks to the kill and the farm. There's already tower pressure up top, and Hylissang is babysitting Chachi, while we see Vardex facing off against Odoamne down bottom.
And now once again, we get to see one big mistake in the swap that will snowball into more mistakes coming in or more problems for Unicorns, because now you have Vardex on his own in the bottom lane, H2K instantly spotted, and what do? Well, Odoamne just TPs down and he gets a one-on-one lane. He's even ahead in experience before Vardex picks up this wave. At the same time, the Gangplank Shen combo are too weak to stop this 2v2 push, so you're not winning anywhere on the map right now.
Yeah, Chachi's trying to set up this barrel combo, but H2K is just simply once that HP of that barrel takes down to 1, immediately clear it, remove the aggressive potential, and then Chachi is stuck on that tower. Desperately just trying to even up with Odoamne, but Odoamne had a safe base. He knew Evelyn could potentially gank him, so all this information, again, gained by H2K, and this time they're using it efficiently as well.
And it's very difficult for Gangplank in the early game to get that 1 barrel hit, because again, it takes down very slow. You need level 7 to get the tick further, and then level 13 to get the last one. That's what you want to do though. Hide them in the bushes, use them to activate the second one coming in. Now Horo is
Both
showing
junglers
up.
are here though.
Counter gang incoming.
Cocoon hits point blank! 2 kills to H2K total.
Everything is going wrong for the Unicorns of Love right now.
And this is the same repetition that we saw last game. Unicorns are forced in predictable plays by H2K and eventually punished. It took H2K an entire game to do it last game. This time, they realized it earlier. Lantern comes down, saves Lulex. They know Evelyn is likely to go top. Why? Because she can't go mid, she can't go bottom. Lulex simply waiting in that bush, and they're good Cocoon. Suddenly, he's playing very well this series so far, and honestly, we asked about Horo versus Lulex, and Lulex is coming out on top.
And once you make that mistake at level 1, where you invade into that blue buff, you die for it, you gotta very quickly realize, okay, how can we try and at least even something out? Unicorns decided to say, let's leave Vardex on his own, give him an XP advantage, and then like we go top and we defend the Gangplank. We try and invest farm onto Gangplank early. But that is once again just in favor of H2K, because their 2v2 is stronger, the Gnar gets the one-on-one lane very early on in the swap. I would honestly love them to say, you know what, we just gotta try and fast push this bot lane tower to get something and give the wave over to Gangplank, because now they're just giving H2K everything.
And something very often missed in Champs League, the way the early game plays out, is just counting how many lanes of yours are pushing. You have the mid lane putting pressure, you have bot lane putting pressure. Odoamne is 1v1 putting pressure in the bot lane. That means it's so easy for H2K to play the game, because everybody that has a defensive mindset will change their movement pattern if they go for a gank, especially when they're pushed in. It becomes so obvious, and it just telegraphs every single aggressive move.
And this is heaven for Elise. You are so strong in one-on-ones, your lanes are winning and pushing, so you can now get early vision. Look at Lulex here, double green ward and a pink. Into the jungle of Unicorns of Love, place them near the camp so you can spot that Evelyn, and suddenly you get so much information for your team.
And I think we have to revisit the story of Lulex, the man who has a substitute here in Stockholm, who was replaced by Bjerton Yoka in the quarterfinals to help pick up a win. This is a guy who's now starting to step up and not making the same mistakes that we saw in the semifinals.
But really, this is about the lane swaps, because H2K again is winning it. They did the last game, gave them a big advantage early. They're doing the same here now, and this time it's even bigger.
On the same token, H2K played the lane swaps against Origin and went even, at least for the first few minutes.
Hang on, it's not gonna work.
Ramble back. Oof. Not gonna have any crushed hearts and broken dreams there today. almost killed by the buff. We do see Hylissang gonna find Lulex. This is the jungle Elise we talked about. Connects with the cocoon. All of the pressure from Lulex means Chachi is left alone against Hyanin and Kasing. And now this inner turret at 7 minutes is being pressured.
The Unicorns of Love are being pinned down by H2K in the top lane, in the mid lane, in the bot lane. They're desperately trying to find an opening, but every time their roaming support, their roaming jungler will be found out. I mean, Horo's struggling with the red buff right now. How, let alone how is he going to take on H2K? Now Ryu, once he hits level 6, 7, he can push in mid and add more pressure to the tier 2 tower in top, tier 1 tower in bot. We can see dives coming out, so much options for H2K. And so little for Unicorns of Love.
And look, Lulex and Ryu now still in the jungle, using those wards that we talked about a little earlier to maintain control against Unicorns of Love, who find themselves nearly 2,000 gold down. They've lost a tower, they're losing in CS and a few of their carry rolls. And honestly, the kill credits to Lulex is helping out, working towards that center hole.
What I like here is that H2K is not going for a traditional mistake, in my opinion, which is if you control the map so much, get a dragon. I really like that they keep up the pressure and just keep suffocating Unicorns of Love, making them very predictable, and then eventually they can get that dragon. But it doesn't have to be now, it can be 5 or even 10 minutes from now, because they're winning the early game so hard. Consistently sieging, adding more global gold to just win those early game even harder.
Yeah, we tend to see teams only favor very early dragons if it's one, completely for free and there's nothing else to take, or if you want to use that fast 5 dragons because you get heavily outscaled, so you need some other way of at least forcing team fights when it comes mid-game where you should have your spike. But H2K with this Tristana pick is okay late game. Obviously Unicorns, very good scaling with Gangplank and Orianna. Getting there though is going to be so problematic because H2K can just keep fast pushing towers. You got a BF sword and a pickaxe on your first pack as an AD carry. I mean, can you ask for more?
That was about 1.5 waves worth of minions, and Hyanin's taken 65% of that tower's HP down. We've spent so much time talking about the side lanes. We've not mentioned Power of Evil or Ryu a whole lot. PoE is being pushed in, but I want to watch his itemization because his Orianna builds have been discussed at length over the last few weeks. So currently looking towards that Athenes.
Here we see Lulex spot Horo again, red buff applied, zone him out. If he walks back in, he's probably having backup. So again, predictable gameplay. Lulex hasn't even touched his own jungle in quite a while. He's just constantly living in a jungle of Unicorns of Love, putting pressure. And I just can't wait, or I just hope that Rio will start rotating to the jungle, roaming a little bit more because he's playing wave clear versus wave clear mid. He should free him up as a resource, as he's doing now. Just waiting for those picks in those side lane brushes.
The key thing for Ryu though in this wave clear versus wave clear is the fact that because Lulex is nearby, because Kasing can roam so easily, it's very easy for Ryu once the wave is shoved to just walk down the river and apply pressure that way. Power of Evil has to run down to his own tier 2 tower near that pink ward to see at the Raptors, being like, okay, I can never face check anything because they can be Elise, Thresh, Ahri, Charm, Cocoon, whatever it is, it's gonna kill me, or at least force my cleanse, we can say in this case. Top lane though, Chachi is now in a standard lane. He got a lot of farm in the swap. Now look how again he's placing in the barrel very defensively. So then he can activate the second one and he can instantly kill it by shooting the first one like you see right there. Didn't manage to chain it all the way through to Oda Amne.
Barely made that one.
You're waiting for that one.
Yeah, it's out. We can continue to cast. Pun is made. Quick shot, go.
Visit Chachi working towards that Trinity Force. Got even CS with Odo Amne, who is also building a little bit of damage. Going to go towards that Black Cleaver. Pretty much the standard top lane Gnar build, but look at this pressure on all 3 lanes. Down at the bottom, Hyanin Kasing pushing in, Ryu shoving in middle. I mean, this could be another 2 quick towers, if not contested.
Yeah, Ryu clears that minion wave in the mid lane before his first melee creep has even taken damage. That's how much pressure he had put on Power of Evil. Because he had to base, obviously now that he has the Athenes, he can start clearing his waves, but it's too late. Doesn't matter. Tower's gone. Frees up Ryu even more. This mid lane goes longer. That's in favor of Assassins. They like these long lanes. Push in, disappear, reappear, make picks.
Yeah, but it was all of those things that made H2K greedy in game 1, Crepo. And we all talked about it. Here's the cannon barrage. Lulex is in a little bit of trouble.
Stand United.
Oro's going to have the Stand United. Flashes in. The charm connects instantly, so the dash taunt does not come out. Lulex is going to find himself in front of a pirate. Going to eat himself a barrel before rappelling up in the air. What goes up must come down before it gets taken down. Kill to UOL.
UOL really don't like spiders. Commit 4, even 5 people to that play. No, Vardex is still on the bottom, but they trade. Yeah, 1 kill on the jungler for what was due a very long time. But they're desperately trying to claw their way back into this game, but they're sacrificing leads on both sides of the map. You know, the only thing they have left to make a play right now is Visit Chachi teleport.
But this is the same problem as in game 1. You lose the lane swap. You fall behind early, and you now gotta rely on picking off H2K if they ever overextend on the map. And even when you do, there's most likely another objective H2K can take. Meanwhile, they got the bot lane tower now because obviously Vardex was left on his own. Shen was TPing away, and Shen as a support, being at both top lane and Shen as a champion, being at both top lane and support is the way we're gonna say it. Needs to get ahead in the early game to use his global pressure properly. If he leaves a lane and that means his tower goes down, well, it's never effective. And you have now Hylissang in that problem where, I mean, where's he gonna go?
Yeah, this objective trading overall has been H2K's bread and butter when they are doing well. Think of the first 9 weeks or the first 4 and 5 weeks of this split when they had this consistent lead in the 10 to 20 minute mark and they just kept out-rotating and outplaying their opponents on the map. Right now we've seen 3 kills come down in this game, but that's not the reason why H2K are ahead right now. They're just systematically out-vision controlled, out-rotated, and especially taking turrets down to gain their massive gold lead right now. We're looking at 3,000 at the 13-minute mark.
And we gotta follow a little bit Chachi, how well he's farming. Obviously he needs to get these, is it silver coins I believe they're called? Where
Silver serpents.
Where he can upgrade his ulti from it. Fired Will is normally the best one in my opinion. Get the 6 extra hits when you fire down. And then you use that Evelynn flank with an ulti from a gangplank. That's your way of reaching the backline of H2K. The concern is, they're not looking necessarily to run away. They're looking to land one skill shot on you and just one-shot whichever target they reach.
Well, Chachi can eat an orange, it'll be okay. For H2K though, they've set their sights in the inner turret. Got 4 members around and an O2 1-minute teleport available if needed. Look at the ring of wards behind Unicorns of Love. H2K have set up the siege.
Now at this point in the game, Corki still has a decent amount of wave clear, and this is where you're still not that strong on your champion. Stun Flash goes wide because Kasing walks forward.
Does he connect? We do see the barrage coming down. Death Sentence connected. Kiana's got 1. We are going to see Lulex go up, but he will get killed in flight, trading 1 for 1.
And in these situations where Corki still has so much wave clear, H2K are forced to make those plays. Hang on.
Oh, Horror's going to go down. Ryu finds the charm.
They're forced to make these plays a little bit too quickly, over-eager. Luckily for them, Unicorns at the other side misplayed twice as well. Horror should never die there. Flash Taunt, or Taunt Flash rather, should connect. He literally hopped over Kasing. Kasing, he stared death in the eyes and he said, come and get me. Walk forward into the turret. Was the right play? Not quite sure if it was intentional.
Lulex gone down 2nd time as well. Kind of weird position for him after that dive, was walking through the tower, but he got a few early kills for himself. Not really been able to use... He's gotten the early vision down, so let's give him that.
Yep.
But we haven't seen him really snowball that lead he got on this Elise, early on at least, from him. Instead though, Unicorns to get a kill, but H2K is back to just taking control of the lanes.
Yeah, H2K is so used to taking down these towers that they're actually over-committing to them. They can simply choke out Unicorns of Vision, make picks here, especially like this. Jump aggressively on Vardex, pop that E, potentially get a reset.
It's all Sweden in this fight down bottom, but Vardex is going to be able to get away. Taunt, again, not going to connect.
The forces the ulti, that was a good taunt.
Good taunt, that's definitely worth it for him, Hylissang. So Unicorns push very far down. We can see a lot of fight for vision in their own jungle of the Unicorns of Love here. Horror is going to be so difficult for him to find a flank when there's so much vision from the side of H2K. Now can just take a 2nd dragon and start playing slowly but surely towards them.
And Horror getting his red buff amidst 4 wards from H2K is technically a mistake. And that mistake started with overcommitting at a tier 2 tower in the bot lane. It manifests itself later. All H2K have to do is just choke Unicorns out of farm. Say all you're getting is these 3 lanes of farm. We will take your jungle creeps and ours too at the same time. And then we steadily improve our gold lead. And some dragons.
The thing about the play they made before, had they just seen the engage come and then instantly back away, they would have forced the teleport. They did manage to force teleport. They did lose a member for it though, or 2 members before, but they have TP advantage. So that is an opening for you now. But if you are H2K, you technically can just keep putting pressure on all 3 lanes and wait for Baron to spawn. And then start playing around that one and force a fight against Unicorns of Love.
Especially when you have a dragon lead, a tower lead, a gold lead, a kill lead. You can debate the scaling.
Ruby Crystal lead, 4 of them.
Kasing's going to follow through with the death sentence, but he's going to get taunted. Now in a 1-on-2. Kiana jumps forward. Lulex has joined. He throws out the cocoon, throws down the house, and the crunch comes down as Hyanin gets the kill. Up top, though, UOL are pushing the tower.
But that whole setup was supposed to be H2K walking in with 2 guys in the bottom lane, a jungler, and then a TP from Old Army to just 4-man dive Unicorns and take the tower. Instead, Kasing walks a little bit too far again, very, very quick with the plays H2K are making, gets punished, dies for it, they lose a top tower, and once again, Unicorns slowly but surely get more and more gold in this game and sneak their way back.
Yeah, sneaking their way back, especially with that double Triforce now finished, so they have a mid-game Band-Aid put on their problems right now. Vardax, he did good job there, Valkyrie mid-Cocoon. Eventually negating that card control. He wants that farm though. Flash Cocoon!
The Flash Cocoon connects, but Vardax channels the Valkyrie. Hjarnan again aggressively goes forward. That's not the direction you want to go. Vardax stays alive. Lulex is trying to retreat, and Horo not going to chase him down.
This is not the gank you're looking for, H2K. Just simply play with these jungle creeps and those minions. Just accrue a gold advantage that way. Don't go for these dives over and over and over. Stupidity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, and it's just not quite working for H2K. However, they're still in the lead. 2k gold, 2 dragons up, they have plenty of towers. They have the ability to learn from their mistakes here.
Yes, you're still in the lead, but this Gangplank has 2 kills now. He's getting free farm up in that top lane. He didn't get shut down that much from the lane swap itself. His damage late game is going to be insane. We know Orianna with the scaling as well coming in from Power Weevil. So instead of H2K cleanly, like we used to see them do really well, snowball the game, they're giving Unicorns way too many chances to get back in the game.
I think H2K have been warming up with some different games because they think Greed is good, but Greed is not that great in this game.
And it's another game in the series. H2K in the first 10 to 15 minutes clearly outplay Unicorns of Love, and then overcommit to plays, whether it be map or individual. Flash Charm and Vardax. I tell you what, Vardax has like rebound Valkyrie to spacebar or something, because he's hitting it the moment anybody shows his face.
Yeah, and he's definitely playing defensive. He has a utility AD carry champion that allows him to wave clear, and he's drawing ganks. That's all the Unicorns need him to do, because Shockwave comes out from Power Weevil in the mid lane.
Horo's gonna take down Lulex. Lulex rides the lantern! Oh! Down! And Vizichachi, he gets his third! Throws down the cannons, the barrels, the fire, the trial by fire. Kasing's gonna get the heal. Hjarnan's got no flash.
It's K.
Chachi is gonna eat an orange. It's K. He's got another one! That's 4 kills for Vizichachi's Gangplank, and he's not done. Looking for more. Hylissang flashes over the wall. We did see a kill credit secured by Hjarnan. Hylissang wants to run Hjarnan down. H on H, the taunt gonna go wide.
That was a sick move by Hjarnan. He knew Hylissang was cutting him off in the back, so he just got a simple reset on that jump after killing somebody. Taunt dragged him back, but there was a wall in between. Hylissang almost got the better of that one, but he just got outplayed, and Hjarnan, he'll have to carry this game. 3-1 and 2, and Odoamne wants to fight. Taunt,
I think he's in trouble.
I think that was a little bit too much.
Flashed away, a few more seconds, still charging. One more hit. There we go. Power of evil.
How would we describe this action from Odoamne? There's a word for this somewhere. Greed, yes, exactly. H2K.
Have you said that before today?
I think we may have mentioned it once or twice.
We're going full solo queue in many ways when it comes to how H2K plans to play out the leads they get so well from these lane swaps in the early game. They have like this beautiful macro play. Again, we're standing there being like, good rotations, we love it. And then we're like, okay, let's just randomly fight everywhere, flash forward for anything, and never calculate what exactly is going on. And Unicorns are still behind, but they're still getting gold on very, very important members.
Now this time it makes me wonder why Hjarnan opts for the static shift. I really think, hang on, don't die now. I'm making a point here, Hjarnan. That Phantom Dancer would have been his best second item, because he really doesn't need to get that early Last Whisper, because 1, he's so far ahead, and 2, there's very little tank itemization on the side of the Unicorns. I would have loved to see a Phantom Dancer just hyper scale into the late game with that Tristana.
Here's one of the moments though where Gangplank really can shine as well. When it comes to sieging a tower, the zone control he offers with the barrels is so important. Have again the one barrel at you, and then chain it into the next one very quickly. You slow people down, and then you have this mass amount of dive coming in from Unicorn.
Yeah, and you've also got to remember, Orianna does exactly the same thing. Put the ball down. You got to worry about the balls, the barrels, the bombs, the explosions. Lulex, you should not be here. Gonna get repelled up in the air, but he's in the middle of the entire Unicorns team. Chachi finds a 5th kill. And after we praised Lulex's early game, he gets caught out of position multiple times.
Mostly because they're not working together. We see Lux on his own, Kasing on his own. They're not moving together, where they're so lethal. Support and jungle should be twins at this point in the game. They should be moving in unison, trying to make those picks. Ryu is not cleaning out the wave, but Unicorns of Love, they won't have it.
That and also Unicorns have control of the map right now. Ryu's going in though.
Oh, he's gonna find Hylissang. The shockwave is gonna pull him backwards. Ryu's gonna flash away. It was only Kasing that was caught. They've got themselves a support. We did hear Cannon Barrage being fired. H2K get one back.
Well, we could just see how hard it was for H2K to start a fight. They had to send in Ryu first, like dashing forward, being like, okay, we need to connect the charm to start anything. They haven't been using that early lead to get the vision control, the map control, so they can't just easily flank around because they've allowed Unicorns again back in the game. Mid tower goes down. You want 3 dragons? Not gonna happen because next one here is on Unicorns.
And going back to picks and bans, we talked about how the same bans would just neutralize Unicorns of Love, how H2K could stick to that plan Fnatic had. But now Vizichachi is showing the gangplank. He can play that champion. Yes, he struggled a bit in the early game, but he's 5-0 right now. Let's watch that again. Ryu is forced to go in. No charms because he used it. Disengage or counter engage from Hylissang. Almost that shockwave was enough to take Ryu. But then the zone control from that ulti takes Kasing down. Barely not. But overall, these fights are so forced from H2K, and there's very easy answers from the Unicorns. You're charging at me, I will taunt you. Blow him up. If it's Gangplank, Orianna, anybody can deal damage at this point.
Put down a barrel, put down a shockwave, suddenly you cannot move through it. You cannot go through the barrels of a late game Gangplank once it gets that infinity.
Aggressive jump here from Yarn though.
Oh, Power of Evil's in a little bit of trouble. The charge is going to go off. It is Yarn that gets the kill. Defensive flash from Hylissang. He will follow suit.
This happens every time though. We sit here, we talk about how Unicorns are slowly getting back in the game, H2K struggling to start team fights, and then randomly they get a pick on Power of Evil in the mid lane. Now we go Baron.
Who do you want your 5 kills on, Tristana or Gangplank?
Interesting adaptation though, depends who's catching who, honestly here. But Yarn, he's going for a Bilgewater Cutlass. He's gonna fight the Bilgewater Bandit with his own Cutlass. Because he's speed up so far and he doesn't need the armor shred, so he's just gonna get a Borg to stay sustained in these fights and just keep walking forward. You know, deny the poke and the zone control. If he ever gets hit by a barrel, he can lifesteal up. Right now, we see Odawa zone. They're not ready.
Baron's down to 2.
Should be able to finish this Baron instead of fighting.
Well, the barrage is going down. Yarnan's in trouble. He's
Baron's
actually going to secure the Baron. Vizichachi gets caught by a cocoon. Going to flash away defensively. Summon a heal. Used there by Vardags. Vardags looking for more. Stand United is being channeled. Going to deliver Hylissang. Kasing is so much bait. He's pulled all of Unicorns towards him. Baron secured by H2K. The cost was only 1 so far.
And no minion waves pushing just yet, except for the mid lane here for UOL. They got some of them coming in. They want to get at least the mid tower as well, but it's the same setup. Power Weaver gets caught in the mid lane. H2K instantly reacts going to the Baron, and despite them having some poor plays for the last 10 minutes, they still managed to get that crucial objective.
Oh, Odoamne is caught out. The taunt lands. Hylissang finds it this time round.
Ryu's flanking though, bottom right of your screen.
He's already killed Horo, and he's killed Hylissang. So quick, we didn't catch it. Power of Evil's going to challenge Shockwave. It means nothing. H2K want that ticket. And at 25 minutes, they've got themselves a 4,000 gold lead.
And the point I was about to make is how can H2K siege into these barrels, into the Corki Wave, into the potential Shockwave. But now that all 3 of them have dropped, Inhibitor is ripe for the taking. H2K can push home this lead, get a Baron, get an Inhibitor, and suddenly the map opens up. They only have a couple of seconds left though before Horo and Hylissang are respawning. See if they can get the inhib.
I think they're going to get the Garden though took so much damage from that powder kick. Vizichachi's Cannon Barrage will be up in a few seconds.
Yeah, imagine if the Unicorns were just a little bit more patient. Said, okay, that's the damage we have. Add an Orianna to that. They will never get this tower. However, they greed a little bit, just as we're used to in this series by now, and they lose their inhibitor turret.
Another one connecting them for Chachi, and now he can chase.
Another spider bites the dust. Chachi's going to look for more. Parley does not crit, and Lulix gets away at the cost of his flash.
I think it's happened now for Gangplank. Again, we mentioned this a little bit earlier. Let's talk about after the replay, because Odoamne goes down first, couldn't even pop the Mega Knight, but Ryu is flanking down bottom here. Beautiful setup from him, and now he can finally get into the back line. He doesn't have to dodge the ball or the barrels or anything. They get the kills they want.
I just want to see what happens if H2K tried to siege against his double zone control from these barrels and the ball, and they can somehow make that work. You know, pop Orianna ulti into a barrel explosion. That is enough. No AD carry can itemize against that. No amount of sustain can itemize against that, because you will literally be blown up to smithereens before it even matters.
All H2K is waiting for is the TP to be ready for Odoamne, and then they can say, okay, we know your team fight right now is going to be insane with the damage coming in, so we're going to split up instead. They're going for Lulix though.
Yeah, we did see Death's Daughter fired onto H2K to defend the blue buff. Who's going to get the final hit? It looks like it was secured away there.
Chachi got it.
Chachi, in fact. You saw the smite going down. Isn't going to be enough. H2K still using the last remnants of Baron, but they've got an inhibitor to take out.
Chachi also delays his Infinity Edge because he wanted some power right now once H2K picked up that Baron and went for Brutalizer. He really needs Infinity Edge as fast as possible. It's such a massive spike for him because, again, when you crit on the barrels, it will crit the AoE damage. And then the good old crit plank is back, just even more deadly.
We'll have to find out if it's going to be more successful than the AP Gangplank.
Which lost and did nothing, so I think so.
Ago, but we're hitting that 30-minute point where that version got enabled. Chachi 5-0-1. He already upgraded his ultimate once. Close to a second upgrade, farming exceptionally well with those powder kegs.
And he hit that very big spike on Gangplank. Level 13, your barrel, the charge time when it goes down of how quick you can shoot it is now down to 0.5 seconds with ticking down. So you can put it, get into max range, then to shoot it and explode it. So now it becomes extremely difficult to clear the barrels out if you are H2K because they tick down so fast, and if you get too close,
yeah, if you're H2K, what you want to do is rotate. The difficult part about rotating is that very often you enter choke points. Having to get through those, Gangplank ulti can cut off your escape, slow you down enough for people to catch up, especially Orianna speeding herself up, putting out the ball. Hylissang face checking for some vision. He should be fine. So having control of this choke point is definitely what H2K will need to watch for. How do you beat that? Generally just by split pushing, putting deep vision, and using that Gnar to your advantage. You know, allow Odoamne to put pressure, and then use that teleport that we talked about earlier.
H2K's vision's been pretty good this game. You can see on the minimap they have relatively deep wards towards the top half of the map, where Odoamne spent a lot of his time. And in the previous game as well, they also put a lot of wards down, but they don't always make use of those wards.
So what H2K is trying to do right now is like fake the solo push with Hyun and have Ryu linger around. Sadly for him, he was standing on a ward. They realize this, so they peel back and they start setting up for this dragon. But teleport comes in from Chachi though.
Vintage is completed for him, so he's a massive Gangplank right now.
Salty.
If he connects a crit with that barrel onto Yanan, he's basically out of the fight, but we can see how H2K is saying, we don't want to risk that 5-on-5 team fight, so we're going to 1-3-1 split instead, trying to also fight out of the jungle, get away from these choke points you mentioned before. This was a very quick dragon though, and they got TP as well, so very key for their 1-3-1 setup coming in.
30 minutes into the game, and Chachi upgraded his Cannon Barrage a second time. Fire at will. As we've now crested that 30-minute mark. H2K still hold on to the gold lead that honestly they earned 20 to 25 minutes ago. But they cannot break through the wave clear that Orianna and Gangplank are putting forward, even with that Baron that they were able to sneak.
Yes, they can clear the waves that H2K push into them. However, they yield and sacrifice the map vision. Baron area is barren of wards. So if the H2K keep up this pressure, they can move back in, either decide to bait it or just simply burn it down. They have a lot of damage. Gnar, Tristana, and Elise can 3-man that Baron very easily. Well, for example, Ahri is just waiting for a pick, you know, with the added lantern to get her out of there without even forcing her ulti. So there's a lot of options for H2K, but there were a lot of options for H2K last game as well. They just didn't always choose the right one.
But I really like this move here, because what H2K is doing is because Baron is respawning, because they know they can play around it, they take the top wave and push it in so they can move from mid lane to the top one. That does two things. One, there's obviously a big wave you can use, or it was there a few seconds ago, but it also gives you the control of this top side jungle, which is what you need to play around. Face check into an Ahri, you're gonna die.
Two problems for H2K. One, that bottom wave is pushing away from them, so towards their own base. So that is a slow push set up by UL. Second problem, Chachi. Those waves, they tend to disappear pretty quickly, and if they connect the damage like you see on Ryu right there, one mistake in that setup that takes about a minute to complete, one mistake, one poke, ruins it all.
And I wondered how Chachi was going to perform on the Pirate. The answer is exceptional. Yana's got caught by the shockwave. The fire at will, Death's Daughter, will not be enough to kill him because Kasing is there with the Lantern of Life.
Now he does escape, but this gives a window of approximately 30 seconds for Unicorns of Left to force something. They use GP ulti, they use Power of Evil's Shockwave. Are they going to commit to this Baron, and can Ryu get the flank off?
Well, Ryu's going to look for him. Chachi's in trouble. Oranges are good, but they're not that good. Barrel's going to pop out of his powder keg, and Baron even going to give one more shot into Ryu. Or may be able to get away, and a lot thrown in, but nobody down yet.
Another very good flank though from Ryu. Unicorns knew they had no control of the Baron, so they just had to move in and clear some vision away. Didn't really know where the rest of H2K were, so didn't start it wisely enough. Everyone else though still slowly but surely getting in the game. Power of Evil now, 3 items completed. H2K needs to be careful in these next fights because there's enough damage to one-shot them.
Yeah, fool me once or fool me twice, fool me 3 times and a barrel will explode in my face, so definitely want to be careful if you're H2K here. Odoamne gets chunked, they spot Horo.
Well, gonna turn onto him. Death Sentence doesn't connect. Hyonin did get some damage done, but Ryu, he's been soloed. Chachi has found him. Powder Keg goes out, and boom! Lulex is slowed. An aggressive Valkyrie from Vardags. He's going to get away from the death sentence, but that's a kill to UOL.
Such a good setup again, because Chachi gets to find a one-on-one against Ryu with no ulti. And whenever he gets it, he's gonna win it. He's so fed now, 6 kills, late game. H2K, you were greedy, you got punished for it multiple times. Baron has been started though, Lulex is nearby, and this is still risky for Unicorn.
Oh, we saw a flash taunt there from Hillisang, and I think he may have hit it. Oduwamne's backed away. Baron was stopped, and H2K gave up no kills.
Yeah, again, Lulex at the back of the pit, threatening with a smite. It is harder on Elise because you obviously have to repel up and down, try to Q smite, combo, execute. Let's watch this again. Barrel into barrel. If you don't have perfect vision, Vizichachi will pick you up. He flashes over the charm and then decides to kill Ryu. Sidesteps.
500 gold.
Coming back, 500 gold. I do like me some gold. Playing the good old bank plank. Go to GP10 items. Don't need that. Just get the shutdowns instead.
And we have one of these games now where Unicorns as a team, like this is where they really shine. A game where Vardax is on the more defensive, the wave player duty on the Corki, and he's not going to be the main carry at all. Because look at his items again, he's pretty far behind. But because you have Chachi and Power Weaver leading the charge, they are the ones who will win the game for you. They are also the star players on this team when it comes to carrying.
I'm going to add, it's more than pretty far to Fisher, because if you look at the gold difference between Vardags and Hyonin, it's 3,000 gold that Hyonin has extra.
You always have to see why these things happen, and that is pretty much almost the difference between H2K and UL, is because UL use him as a wave clearing resource where they need him. They funnel all their side lane farm to their carries, Visit Chachi and Power Reveal to say, okay, we can win this fight on 2-man carries, and that's definitely true right now. All they need is Vardax to, clean up the Valkyrie aggressively. He is the steelback of this lineup right now.
And they can, Unicorns are playing so confidently. They're in H2K's side of the map. What will it cost them? They seem to be committed to this. Inner turret's been secured, while it looks like H2K are going for the Baron. They are onto the inhibitor turret. Baron will be called. Empowered recalls, 4 seconds to get back. Inhibitor turret is down. Unicorns of Love will be getting super minions in the bottom lane, but they know their opponents will be here quickly. That was a conscious decision from UOL.
UL didn't want to try and dance around the Baron any longer, didn't want to risk walking into H2K. So they get the bot lane inhibitor, which normally would mean a lot if Baron is still alive, because you want the super minions on the bottom side. But H2K now is the chance to push. And the wave this on is going to mean a lot less for Unicorns with Baron finished.
Face check here from Kasing, because they want to get to the Dragon. Just down immediately, and this Kasing in his feature, he said, yeah, well, he was saying he made that mistake. He face checked very predictably. Well, takes one to no one. Kasing goes down 5 against 4 for this fourth dragon right now. 5th. Math is hard.
It will be the 5th in total, but if H2K secure, it'll be their 4th dragon, which puts a 6-minute timer on Aspect. H2K have got their 2nd Baron of the game already. Dragon's being focused down, 2,000 HP, gonna get chunked out. It's secured by H2K, but how many will they lose? Horo is gonna be able to take one before going down himself. A messy fight, 1 for 2 thus far. Ryu is going to get himself a double kill. Power of Evil and Chachi moving away! Ryu gets blown up! Power of Evil once more. He's looking for Hyonin. Can he cut him off? Hyonin's got some life steal. There's a teleport now coming in from Odoamne. And I think Power of Evil's going to get run down. Odo's going to get the
Chachi's on his way, but
he's going to get that kill. So messy fight to end it all.
oh, I'm never a fan of seeing my AD carry. Valk into the enemy team to try and clean it up. Had he stayed with Chachi and Power of Evil in the back line here for Unicorns of Love, they could potentially have turned it around after that crit. But H2K, 4 versus 5. Take the dragon, get the kills. Odoamne is back and he's hitting the inhibitor.
The biggest problem for the Unicorns is, yes, they get a pick, but well, who do you take away? The support, what do you use for that? Shockwave, one of their biggest zoning tools, and this just allows H2K to position and Ryu to go aggressively. What's this again? Barrels miss, so Chachi just uses combo. Lulex secures the dragon with the smite combo, and then the Horror just gets exploded. Ryu can comfortably play in this pit aggressively because Oduwamne is zoning in the front. If this was a Shockwave available, this fight would have been over, but this completely changes the way this fight is played, and obviously, yeah, baited.
Never worth it.
Oh,
Never worth it.
35.
At best, you go 1 for 1, so it's never worth Valkyrie in as an AD.
Especially because we also just talked about how this game is not about the Corki. Sit back, you're wave playing, you're killing turrets. It's your duty as an AD carry in this game here. Do not risk flashing forward here to try and take down Odo Amne.
Now, as these teams set up vision, again, I just want to talk about how this all came to be. There was an inhibitor trade for Baron from the Unicorns of Love. Why did they do that? Because it reduces the map from 3 lanes to 2, hopefully for them. You can put these guys together, then you can maybe pick them off like they're picking off Luex right now. No Wraiths or Raptors to go to, but
Wow.
Shen gets blown up.
Support Shen's not tanky enough, nor is Jungle Evelyn. Yana's looking for more. Horror's gonna go down. I think that was to the red buff. Then we see the reset. Yana's looking for Vardak and he's going to find him. That's gonna be the quadra kill. Is he gonna find the Penta? No, Power Beavers run away. There is a cleanse up the charge! It hits! This might be a Penta!
Oh, real good! Real good!
Wow.
It's sweet, and Yanin could have gotten the pentakill.
And Ryu secures the ace. H2K in a 5v0 will tank up the Nexus turrets. They will get 1, they will get 2, and they will go 2-0.
And look at the player camps, no remorse from Rio. He doesn't care. I'm here to go to World. Screw your pentakill.
H2K 2-0 up. And in a flash, finish that game.
So this game, once again, after a fantastic start in the lane swap for H2K, where they outplay the Unicorns of Love, they punish their mistakes. We see the same thing.
Yeah.
Greed. They give away too many kills. Chacha and Gangplank, he got 7 kills, 300 CS.